Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking this incredible story about two men. One had absolutely everything he could ever want, and the other, well, he had nothing. And what happened to them tells us something really, really important about the choices we make, every single day.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with a question. A big one that kind of gets to the heart of this whole story. What if you had everything? I'm talking all the toys, all the best snacks, literally anything you could ever dream of. What would you do? Would you keep it all for yourself? Or would you share it? Well, let's see what our story has to say about that.
All right, Section 1, A Tale of Two Lives. So the story kicks off by introducing us to these two guys. And get this, even though they lived right next door to each other, their lives were, well, they were worlds apart.
And wow, the difference between them it's just night and day. On one hand, you've got this rich man. He's dressed in the most expensive clothes, eating these amazing feasts every single day. But then, literally right outside his front gate, there's Lazarus. He's a poor man, a beggar, and he's so hungry that he just hopes for even the tiniest crumbs that fall from the rich man's table. Just imagine that.
And here's the thing, the rich man wasn't actively mean. It's not like he was yelling at Lazarus or anything. He just ignored him completely. He saw that Lazarus was sick and hungry, but he chose to just look the other way, safe inside his big, comfy house. It's like he was so wrapped up in his own world, he couldn't see the person suffering right there on his own doorstep.
Okay, moving on to our next section, the great reversal, because this is where the story takes a massive turn. Everything is about to get flipped completely upside down.
So, as happens to everyone, their time on Earth eventually comes to an end. It's over. And when it is, boom, their situations are completely swapped. It turns out those choices they made while they were alive, they had consequences that were going to last forever.
And here it is, the great reversal in action. Look at this. Lazarus, the man who had nothing, is now being comforted. He's at peace. But the rich man, the one who had everything and only thought about himself, he's the one who's now suffering. It's an absolute, total flip. And isn't this something? The rich man, the one who couldn't be bothered to share a single crumb from his feast, is now begging for the tiniest bit of relief. He's asking for just one drop of water from Lazarus, the very man he ignored every single day.
So you've got to ask, right? What happened? Why did the rich man end up in such a terrible spot? Well, it all boils down to this really important idea, being a steward. A steward? What even is that? Well, think about it like this. A steward is someone who's put in charge of looking after things that actually belong to someone else. And what this story is telling us is that everything we have, our toys, our money, even our kindness, they're all gifts. They're gifts we've been trusted to manage and take care of.
And it's not just about money, not at all. We're stewards of so many things. We're stewards of our kindness, of the words we say to people, of our time, even our toys and our favorite things. And with all of it, we get to choose how we're going to use it.
And see, that was the rich man's huge mistake. He acted like all his amazing stuff was his and only for him. He just kept it all for himself. He totally forgot the whole point, that he was given all those good things so that he could use them to help others.
So what happens when you're not a good steward? Well, the rich man's selfishness created something permanent, a separation, and the story calls it a great gulf.
So when the rich man is begging for help, he's told, sorry, can't do it. There's this massive uncrossable gap between them now. But here's the really mind-blowing part. God didn't create that gap. The story says the rich man fixed it there himself. He built that wall piece by piece with every selfish choice he made.
Yeah, you can totally picture it, can't you? It's like it was built brick by brick. Step 1, we're given something good. Step 2, we see someone who needs help. Step 3, we choose to just keep it all for ourselves. And with that choice, bam, we've just laid another brick in that wall, creating a gap between us and them.
Because that's really what it's all about. This gulf, it's really our character. And our character isn't made in one single moment. Nope. It's built out of all the little tiny choices we make every single day. Each small choice to be selfish or to be loving helps decide which side of that gulf we're on. But, and this is the really good news, if our choices can build a giant gulf,
that also means our choices can build something else. They can build bridges.
And that really brings us to the most important question of all, doesn't it? What does this mean for us, for you and me, right now, today? How do we make sure we're building bridges, not gulfs?
So how do we do it? How do we build that bridge? Well, it all starts with choosing to be a good steward. It means using our gifts to do good. It means sharing what we have. It's about really noticing the people around us who might be hurting. Maybe that means sharing your snack with someone who forgot theirs, or inviting that kid who's always alone to come play. It's about choosing love instead of selfishness.
And if this story teaches us anything, it's this. This life, right now, is our one and only time to build our character and decide our future. The little choices we make every day, they really, really matter. There's no second chance to get this part right.
So, let's leave it with this final thought. The gulf, that's fixed by our choices, but the bridge, that's built by our love. Every single day, you and I get to decide which one we're building. So the big question is, what will you choose to build today?